We're going to have a couple great pitchers here. We're going to get into – we're going to remember this night. I love when I get an opportunity to speak to a player that isn't quite brought up yet full time, but he's going to be a great one. Chance Adams. How are you, sir? Oh. How are you, my friend? Tommy, good to see you. A local talent. I don't think we've seen each other since we were at the stadium, right? All right. This right here is good. Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's good. I like what you've done with the beard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you look even. You look. Is that kind of an approach to like when you're on the mound? To, yeah.
Definitely.
I love it. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. I know the weather's a little shaky, but
a little
tough. Oh boy, it's been rainy, cold. So, how are you guys? How's everything?
Good. I'm doing good.
These are our VVIPs.
Okay.
Not VIP, VVIP, double V.
Double V.
Very, very important. And they really make Steiner click. And some of them are here for the first time. I love when I get an opportunity to give him advice and then also to realize that what a brilliant career he has ahead of him. We got a little bit of a taste of it, I think, in Boston. But we're going to remember this because I felt the one the last time I saw you that, really it's going to be special when we get you up on that mound on a regular basis. Is that going to happen this year, you think?
We'll see. I'm going to go to spring training and do my job and see what happens.
What's the difference besides obviously that's in a Aaron Boone's? Obviously that's Aaron Boone and Cashman and all the higher ups. But in your mind, where you are now versus where you want to be, a Cy Young pitcher, dominant starter. What do you think has to happen? Is it part of just growing up, just developing experience, or is there some specifics?
It's a little bit of both. It's learning from the older guys and then also seeing how they go about their business and then repeating it myself and working hard in the off season and stuff like that.
Do you feel better today than you did a year ago?
Well, yeah. I definitely feel better this off season, not having a surgery.
Let me ask you something just to get you warmed up here. Well, how do you didn't have a great, it wasn't a great year for you last year, how do you put that behind you? What'd you do to put that behind you? What's different going into this year's spring training?
Really, it's just, I put everything behind me. I'm not going to worry about it, not going to think about it. It's gone. It's in the past. It happened. Basically, this year, I got back into the gym and worked out harder this off season and really just getting healthy, getting my shoulder back. And I feel like at that point, last year I was just not mentally right. I wasn't physically right. So this season I really put an emphasis on, or this offseason I put an emphasis on getting stronger and getting my shoulder healthy. So I think at this point I'm on that track.
Are you going to change your number?
No.
You're not superstitious that way?
No.
When I was bowling as a kid, my dad, when we were really bowling poorly in the fourth frame, he would do like a double fence. He'd put a double mark on that. So he says, something? We're starting a new game within the game. And you don't even pay attention to these first 3 gutter balls you've thrown in. You start again. And psychologically, that worked. Are you building a double fence so you're not even thinking about what happened there?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Yes. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it worked for me. I built a double fence like almost every day as I'm losing deals. I try to build a double fence. And I make believe, well, that's a whole nother separate thing. Now moving forward. Who is your mentor? Who guides you in the off season? Is there another professional player you look to? Your dad, a coach?
Basically, I go through my old travel ball team that I used to play with. The coach, he helps me out a lot, like throughout the off season, and then the pitching coach that was he's one of the head coaches of a local college now, so he actually does a good job of kind of trying to follow me along the year and watching video, throw me helpful hints every once in a while. But more or less, those guys help out big time when I'm home, so I would credit them a lot. And then obviously my wife, she holds the fort down.
Critical.
Yeah.
Best decision I ever made was marrying my wife. 30 years this year, just last week. It was probably the last decision I made, but the best decision. Love her, but right, it's been a good thing. 30 years, it's just a long time, man. But yeah, it's the glue. And you know what's crazy also, just on a side note, people don't realize I get all the credit for all this, or everything else that doesn't come with it. But my wife was really the one who helped me build this thing. She's the back end. You know, she's a CPA, and she's the one who came in and actually get the whole thing straightened out in the back end to get us going back in the 90s. Which most people, most people don't know that. But who's your mentor? Who's helping you in the off season? Is this a typical off season for you, or are you feeling like it's a little bit
I've
special?
done a few things differently. I'm actually doing some stuff for mobility at this place. It's called PT3, and they just help with mobility and whatnot.
Is that in Chicago or
no, Arizona.
Arizona?
Yeah, and then I've been going to a training facility called Exos. So those two things I've been doing a little differently. So just changing up the regimen this year. Just had a so-so year last year, wasn't so great. So I just kind of wanted to mix it up and try some few things differently.
How'd you feel in Boston when you went up there in that environment?
It was good. I mean, I was a little like nervous leading up to it, but then when you go out on the mound and stuff, it's just kind of like something just kind of kicks over. It just kind of goes back to being baseball.
Do you go back and watch that game?
No.
Do you feel like you were prepared for that game?
Yeah. I mean,
I thought you were. I mean, from the outside, when we just watch it on TV, you look good.
There's only so much you can do to prepare, and then you have to, be in it and learn from those situations like, everyone else has. So I was ready at that time. I was excited.
Is your slider still your go-to?
No. I spent fastball and curveball last year. The slider wasn't really that effective, so I was trying to just toy with it this off season. I'm only throwing a few because I'm just getting back to breaking balls, but I'll work on it. Some more the slider, but it was fastball, curveball a lot.
So will you be a two or three pitch pitcher?
Probably go back to 4. I mean, I throw the changeup too, but I mean, I just do the fastball and the curveball the majority of the time.
Now, fun. Have some how do you have fun in an off season? Is it all work all throughout, or are you taking some
No, the
breaks?
first part is the fun part. So right when the season ends is when you kind of have time to settle and go on vacation or whatever you like to do.
What'd you do? Just between us and 800,000 people on Facebook.
Yeah, honestly, I just kind of relax at home. It's nice to just kind of stay in one place rather than moving around all the time like you do during the season. So I kind of stayed there, hung out with my girlfriend, and we just hiked and then just did normal everyday stuff.
Nice.
Nothing like crazy.
Just kind of just stay grounded.
Stay grounded, except for New Year's. I went to Disneyland. So
You did?
I did.
In Anaheim.
I did.
Disneyland.
Yeah,
Now,
maybe-
for the
maybe-
concerts, or you doing the rides and everything?
Rides. No, I took my girlfriend.
What's your favorite ride? Any one particular?
Is there going to be a wrong answer for people? I'm going to have to go with classic. I love Splash Mountain.
Me too, man. I love
Splash Mountain's a good
Splash.
classic.
Me too.
One of the underrated ones I like is I think it's Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
That one with you go through the railroad. That one's underrated. I think it's pretty fun.
I think it's pretty
I like
fun
that
too.
one.
Yeah. I was on that the last time I was there. You're never too old to do that.
No. So
No
those
way,
two,
man.
Definitely.
I actually want to adopt some new kids just so I can go back and have an excuse to go to Disney World. But it's so much fun. I mean, it never gets old. It's amazing. Did you have some fun on this off season?
I guess. I mean,
Wow. Now you're sounding like me.
to be honest, not really. We didn't go anywhere or anything. Right when we got home, I just got home and basically stayed there. And I mean, because we bought a new house last off season. I only had about 10 days to live in it until the season started. So it really got to settle into the house, get
Nice.
furniture, all that stuff for it, basement getting finished. But more or less just kind of hung out with the family and watched football all fall and working out.
What's the best thing you did in this off season? The most fun thing you did?
I'd have to say the holidays around family and stuff. That's probably the most extravagant thing we did this off season.
So you're looking forward to going to Tampa?
The weather, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, to get out of the cold for a few months.
But do you feel like when you get into this kind of off season, are you focused on thinking recovery, diet? You say you worked out a lot, but are you thinking about all these other small little things, or is everything on the table that you're looking at, or?
Yeah, I would say basically the 3 things I concentrated on was getting healthy, getting stronger. So basically getting in the weight room, and just taking time off from throwing, making sure my shoulder gets healthy and back up to speed. And that was really it.
A lot of
I really
physical
was
therapy.
Not really. I just rest. Yeah, a lot of rest, and really just putting an emphasis on those three things was my big to-do list this offseason.
Cool. You're gonna start off in Tampa, then you're gonna go to Scranton or Trenton.
Oh, well, no, it'll be either Scranton or the Yankees. We'll see what happens. Spring training.
And if you're ever a betting man, what would that be?
Oh, we'll see. I'm gonna just shooting for the Yankees.
You're fighting for
Yeah,
it.
going for the MLB roster, but we'll see what happens. That's not my decision.
You're ready though.
Yeah, ready.
You're ready. I love it. We'll take a couple questions. Anybody have any questions? Yep.
Me? Two questions. Does Cashman know about the beers? Off-season.
Probably not. I wouldn't take him as a social media person, so.
Yeah,
But you will be shaving in the near future.
yeah, very soon.
I thought it was joy.
But that's still in place though.
It's still in
Yeah.
place, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'll shave last minute.
Yeah. It's all good.
Second question, Chance. You were like 26-8 your first 2 years. You and Sheffield, top prospects for the Yankees. You still had an off year last year. Did you have shoulder problems last year?
No, I had a surgery that off season I had a bone chip. So I
Did
just,
that affect you last year?
I don't like to blame to things, but I would say it had a little bit of an effect on certain things, definitely.
Either one of you have a relationship with Mel Stottlemyre in your time? or-
No.
No? Oh, man. Gem. We're going to miss him. Legendary. One of my favorites. Got a chance to watch him pitch, which makes me old, but he was just great guy. And I think probably the most underrated out of all the success. Constant, between the Met run, the Yankee run. It's hard. You think about all the pressure and everything. He did an amazing job, and very quietly. Unfortunately, we lost him recently, but just amazing. Yankee. Yeah. Yep.
Either of you got any? Well, two questions. Any of you got a pregame ritual? And who was the pitcher that I guess you guys would like to most emulate in your career?
Want to take it first time? All right,
take it.
sure. Pre-game ritual? No, not really. Nothing really for a pregame that's crazy. Honestly, just kind of go out there with the guys when they went out, and then emulate. I'd say when I was younger, I liked Trevor Rosenthal a lot. He just kind of threw a lot of fastballs and just went out there. So I liked him.
Pre-game rituals. I would say I have a lot, but I can't think of them specifically. I know at least one is having a coffee before we go out to the bullpen. But there's a couple little things I do. We all have kind of a set routine as we go out, so I can't think of immediate things right now, but that's one of them. It's definitely having coffee. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I do some weird things during sporting events too, like being a fan. So I know how it feels.
Well, we're listening.
Say the Eagles win on Sunday, I have a specific set of clothing that I wear every day leading up to the next game. So that's definitely something. But
you got some issues.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I like that, man. I like that. I'm feeling more comfortable in this conversation. Me too, man. I'm out of my mind when it comes to when Syracuse wins. Mariano Rivera, have you got a story? Have you had a little contact with him, and what's your feeling about him being elected unanimously, which is amazing?
I think it's great for the sport, to be honest. I've only met him a handful of times, but every time he seems like just a great guy, class act. That's the first thing that always stands out to me is just him as a person. He's really good. And, every once in a while, you can pick up a few things from him here and there when he's there and in around. But overall, I think it was awesome to see him get unanimously selected into the Hall. I think he
I've
deserves
never
it.
seen a man work so little, do so little, and get more accolades and get paid a ton of money to do it. The guy worked about 8 minutes a night. To his own credit. I'm like, geez, talk about genius. talk about it. I mean, just amazing. I'm so happy for him because, you know, what happens in today's world, you see great things happen and then you're on to the next thing. But you know something? Like, that's a guy who figured it out on the field, off the field, did so many good things. And I like the fact that we're going to stop for a moment in time and really recognize that. And we should do that more with people that get it right and do it right and do all the good things, do the right thing on purpose kind of thing. That's what I love about the acknowledgement, because it really is a respect thing to say, you know, you did the right thing. Not only were you a great player, but you were such a great ambassador of the game. I'm starting my push for CC on the unanimous too, Hall of Fame. The thing that confused me about CC is that he wasn't born in Brooklyn. He's just such a Brooklyn. It seems like, I think there's got to be a connection there, because he really like a New York guy. First of all, welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
I have to ask you, how you feeling?
I feel good. I can think about 5 things Tommy do before the game, right now. Superstition things.
And it's all about sharing. We're here to share, collaborate. You got some superstitions too, by the way.
I do. And even in games that I don't play, I have I got to get in the hot tub at a certain time, like right to the shower, and then like right to get to the bullpen, because the starters go to the bullpen with the starter that's starting that day.
Yeah.
So we have like a little set routine.
We've heard about that from Ron Darling and everybody else about this. Is it really serious about the start time and keeping that really regimented?
The day you're starting?
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but everything for me is time. I get in the hot tub at the same time. I get on the stretch table like at the exact same time. I have to go eat at the exact same time. Like everything is time for me.
What music you listening to?
I don't like to get too hyped up. I don't really put headphones in. I just like to interact with the guys, kind of hang out, keep it loose. If I'm too hyped up, like I'll run the ball to the plate. Like I'm a football player, so you know I get too much aggression. It won't be good. So I have to keep it as loose as possible up until like the last moment I'm going out.
What you thinking about the Mo thing? You guys, I mean, he has saved a few of your games.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
You know. And,
No, I was excited, and I was excited that he got voted unanimous. I think there's been players that deserve it, right? And they just haven't given it to him, and he deserves it, and he got that. So it's always got to be a first, and if there's anybody that is a better teammate or a better player on the field, I mean you can't name it, So it was an honor for me to be able to play with him and call him a friend, and be able to call him up and ask him for advice, and taught me to cutter, him and Andy. So I owe him a lot and thank him a lot, and just excited for him.
he says that God gave him the cutter. So did he introduce you to God?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish, right?
I mean, he's sticking with that story, actually. But back to your health for a minute. Scary, is that a scary proposition? What do you recommend to other people? Because, you know us guys are, particularly. Women are smart.
Yeah, no, I mean-
Men are so stubborn. We don't really sometimes use our heads about doing the smart thing.
Yeah, no, if you feel something, I feel, you should get checked out. In my case, I was sick for 3 weeks kind of leading up to it, and couldn't really figure out what was going on, and, ended up getting a stress test, and they found the blockage. But, I was right on it. I knew something was wrong with me, and, was at the hospital pretty much every day until they figured out what was going on.
Wow. It's amazing. And it is a little bit scary when you don't know what's going on, which is why you got to be patient and go through all the processes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now, this is going to be your last season.
This is it.
I mean, Chance would have preferred last season to be your last season.
Not true.
First of all, I got to tell you, CC, I'm not happy with you right now. I got to pick a bone with you right now. My boy, Justice Sheffield. Because remember, we were sitting in Mitch Modell's living room. You're like, Brandon, I'm telling you. And very few players go, I'm telling you right now, this guy, so I'm all in on Justice. Following him. I mean, I'm not stalking him, but I'm following him. And I signed it, and then, man, we lost him. I hope that doesn't come back, but I feel like that was a special character there.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know how things are going to pan out. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's a special talent and a special guy, and, he's got all the opportunity in the world right now going to Seattle. But, it's just how things work out, especially here. You never know what's going to happen, especially with the younger guys. And, It's just one of those things. But I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely, you know, hopefully he makes that rotation and, you know, gets to start his career this year.
We're moving away from him for a minute, throwing him under the bus. I got my man Chance Adams here, who's ready for you to take him under your wing, and he's ready. You know, he's going to need a big brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
yeah.
I need my man to make the roster. If you can weigh in on that in spring, you know, you need the influence, man.
I wish I had that influence.
It's so crazy down there. I mean, I can't imagine the pressure it must be. Do you remember your first spring training, or?
Yeah, we was just talking about this. I was telling him I love spring training. He said, why? I said, because I don't do nothing. It's awesome. I don't do nothing. But, yeah, I do remember my first spring training, and it was nerve-wracking. And, you know, just trying to make the team. You know, luckily I made the team, you know, that very first year. But I remember, you know, that first spring I pitched pretty good. And, you know, they kept telling me if I pitched good, I was going to make the team. I was 20 years old at the time. And it came down to the last day where the team was leaving. And they didn't tell me to pack my bag. So I was pissed. So I get to the stadium, packed up all my stuff and whatever, and my dad came to pick me up. We were going back to the hotel. I was going to pack up, get ready to go to Buffalo, AAA. And he picked me up, and as soon as I saw him, I just started crying. I was mad. I was, you know, they told me, they lied to me, blah, 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 and he was leaving that day. So we get in the car. I go back, pack up all my stuff, think I'm going to Buffalo. We get in the car to go to the airport, and Charlie Manuel calls me and was like, hey, you coming to Cleveland? So that was like, you know, one of those cool moments. And my dad was sitting there with me and stuff. So, yeah, that was my very first big league spring training.
I'd be crying if I was going to Buffalo, too.
I was, yeah. I was hot.
I mean, but, no, I'm sorry. I know it's some people from Buffalo, but, hey, you had any experience with Mariano? I meant to ask you that. You have any kind of?
No, I haven't.
I'll give you his phone number. He'll help you.
Definitely
I
help.
would. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, to me, it's like you got an opportunity to go talk to the best. You know, I mean, I want to take everything I can from him, and he is so generous too with his information and his insight, and I think he's. I mean, I wish he'd be in that bullpen more often, just to think about, you know, just his mindset has never been duplicated. Which I think, I mean, when you think about it, is that mental mindset that he had it figured out. How important is that?
What the craziest thing about Mo is that he was a failed starter. You know, back then, like, you know, guys that went to the bullpen were guys that couldn't start. And he ended up figuring it out with that one pitch. And he threw harder than he did. He threw harder as a starter. And then, you know, figured it out with his cutter. And he was too generous. He taught Roy Halladay that cutter, too.
Which I'm figuring. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, Jeet was mad about that.
Like, why are you doing that? I mean, what's wrong with you? And others, too. He was very.
Yeah, he taught a lot. He taught D-Rob the cutter.
I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? Jeez. But that's who he is, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. The bullpen this season seems to be the absolute strength of this team and a focal point. Is this the changing of the way baseball is now? Is the bullpen now going to play a prominent part of a team? Like, it seems like we're just stacked. And how big a loss is David Robinson?
Well, I mean, today's day, everybody, you know, is trying to come up with the new thing. And, yes, bullpens are very important. But I think it comes down to the whole team. It's always going to come down to the whole team. And I think the bullpen as of right now, I mean, you look at it on paper, everybody says it's basically like death row. So, but overall, I think losing D-Rob is going to be a big loss. Just him as a person, you know, in the locker room, on the field, just his character and the way he, you know, brought himself around people and his insight. He was a very important part to the bullpen, and I think, I mean, it's going to be a big loss, but also you have to overcome losses. So I think we're in a good spot, and this bullpen, I mean, sky's the limit. So
I'd like to see the game start with a relief pitcher and bring the starter in the fourth inning. A little bit. Are you favor that? Just because I don't get home in time for the beginning of the game, I turn the game on like the middle of the game. Now I get CC. I don't want to miss him pitching, right? No?
Nah.
You're not feeling that?
No, I don't like that.
Just a thought. God help me if they made me the commissioner. Believe me, I'm making all kinds of changes. Believe me. We moved that game right to about 2 hours and 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Be home for the 11 o'clock news. Are you feeling like we've got what we need? CC, is something else you think the Yankees need to get?
No, I think our team had enough last year. I think we just ran into the Red Sox. They were a really good team, but
two at bats. When
Yeah.
you think about it, right? Two.
yeah, it was that series could have been a lot different, but no, I think we always gonna try to add stuff and here or there and things like that. Who knows what we get from here to spring training, but if we don't get anybody, I think we'll be fine. All the guys getting a year of experience playing in those playoff series.
How important is that?
That's
now-
huge.
when you
Those
think about
games are huge.
our whole infield was really young.
Yeah, and in the year before, our whole, Judge was young. Those guys were young. So, getting that experience and playing in the one-game playoff and then playing in the ALCS and stuff. So, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Are you doing a little road show your final year? Are we going to see some different things for your final season and that kind of approach, or you going low key?
No, I'll probably go low key. We probably go low key.
Oh man, love the hype. We'll have to talk about that. We got to do some fun stuff. The thing I love about you is I think New York fans really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
Don't you think? I mean, right? I think they do. I mean, I think we see players come, go, and I think there's something about you that people really love.
No, I've had it's been an amazing 10 years, 11 years now here. Just free agent signing, didn't know what to expect, and brought my whole family here. We moved here, and it's been great. It's been the best decision I've made in my life, for sure.
Cool. We can do some Q&A for random questions. Yep.
So the transition from throwing 98 miles an hour to where you are now, how hard was it for you, and how just becoming a control pitcher and working the corners?
It wasn't it wasn't that hard mentally because I wanted to get there. I saw myself my velocity going. It was a lot easier that I had Andy around to kind of help me with that. But just my knee, my knee was I was going through some changes with my knee and wasn't able to get my delivery right. So that was just the hardest part, is not being able to repeat my pitches to get the ball to go where I needed it to go, because at that point, I need to be, pinpoint what I'm throwing. So it was just hard in that fact, but, mentally and having the people around to change, no, it was easy in that sense.
I actually have two questions. One for Tommy. I wanted to know what you thought about your buddy from Colorado, Adam, coming to the team, what that means to you.
I think it's a great move. I mean, the guy is always been like a mentor to me, and when I was there with him in Colorado as a rookie, he really helped me throughout the whole year, and basically he's a good person to add to this team, and I think a lot of the guys are going to like him. So I think it was definitely a quality add.
My second question is actually for CC. I want to know what was going through your head. I think we all want to know what was going through your head when in Tampa Bay you beamed that guy, and you knew it was going to cost you $500K, but Cashman and Howell made the right move, gave it to you. But
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about anything other than seeing Roe upset. Romine's had a couple concussions, getting hit in the head, and it was just uncalled for. So I wasn't thinking. Only thing I was thinking about was sitting next to him and seeing how upset he was, and just acting on that.
CC, do you think the thing that kind of all the ups and downs, and there was some this past season, it seems like this team is very, very close and tight. As tight as any team you've seen in the Bronx?
It is. It's. I said that 2 years ago about this team, and just because everybody was so young coming up together, I think, makes a huge difference, and everybody's pulling for each other, and we have a lot of fun on and off the field. So I think just getting these experiences, I keep saying that, is going to make us that much better for next year.
Three pitchers up there. How do you all feel about a time clock to make the game faster? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, the time clock? The pitchers.
Chance, you work pretty quick.
Yeah, not a huge fan of the time clock. I don't really think it's necessary, but the game changes all the time, and it's going to continue to change. So you're going to have to kind of change with it, I guess. So that's what I have on it.
And how important is the catcher to you?
Well, very important. He catches the ball.
Ask a stupid question. Yes, I meant, is there a personal relationship there? I mean, do you get kind of used to one catcher, or?
No, I've thrown to Gary and Romine.
Yeah.
I've thrown to Romine more often, though. I don't know if that's just the way it lined up.
Oh boy.
But no,
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely need a personable relationship with your catcher, and Gary and Romine do a great job coming up, talking to you, make you feel comfortable. And if you're not comfortable with something, they'll change it to to what you prefer. So, I like them both.
Yeah, I like both of them. I mean, I've played with Gary since he was 17 years old, so I have a pretty close relationship with him. And same thing with Romine. I've known him since I was back in the Yankees minor league, so I know both of them well. I mean, they handle the catching job pretty well. And anytime you have a problem or anything, you can go up to them. They're easy to talk to, and they're pretty good to be around.
Hi, CC. I'm looking at a picture from a couple of years ago. You got skinnier, I got bigger. Fantastic.
Thank you.
What have you been doing? Is it all as a result of the health scare, or have you changed the
Oh
regimen?
no, I started about 3 years ago. Just making changes to my diet, and I lost a bunch of weight about 3 years ago, and now it's just been keeping it off. But yeah, it was just making some changes to my diet and stop eating the cereal, and just making some changes. Thank you.
What advice do you guys have for young pitchers?
Throw strikes, man. Throw strikes. Just for me, when I was that age, I would always try to see how hard I can throw it, but over the plate or to my target. So I would always try to push it, like how hard could I throw it, but making sure that I could throw a strike, So just throwing strikes.
Because ultimately, it is an aim game. To some degree, putting the ball where you want to put it, I guess.
Yeah.
How you feeling about your control?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, everything's feeling better this off season, so we'll see.
Yeah. Now, is it hard? Like you go to spring training, you're trying to make the team like where you're going to live, or you're going to wing that part of it?
No, I just wing it. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, I don't think people realize how hard it is. Like, with some of the unknowns of where you're going to go, what you're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, they make it somewhat accommodable.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have like a hotel option for a few nights for you, and then until you find a place or something or whatever. So
He got a new house, so he's got room.
he doesn't want me.
Yeah, never.
Yes.
Yes, this question is for all three of you. CC, you were saying your father was in the car with you when you got that call that called up. What advice for myself, because I believe and I pray that my son will be there also, but for all three of you, what was your drive? What was that key to your success coming up? And what can I do besides pushing him to go play?
You want me to go? I think my drive was my parents, my family. I feel like, obviously we all, everybody has their struggles in their family. We all do. But I feel like I came from a strong family unit. My grandmother, pretty much raised me. My mom and dad were younger when they had me. My dad was always, very big in my sports career, though. From the time I was 4 years old, just pushing me, sometimes too much to go play. But he was always, right there for me, and just talking to me through things, and he was videotaping me early, so he was just, he was ahead of his time. I feel like, as far as parenting with that stuff. But no, he my parents were a huge drive for me, and I always wanted to make them proud.
I would say for me, when I was young, I just really enjoyed playing the sport, and I liked being around a bunch of friends to play the game with. That was a lot of my drive, was just being able, because I was an only child, so it's fun hanging around a bunch of guy friends and like hanging out and then playing the sport you love, but also just having fun while doing it.
How old were you started?
I was like 5. I was
Wow.
playing for a long time.
Now, were you a pitcher all the time, or you
No,
played?
I played
a
center
shortstop?
field, third base, shortstop. I played like every position but catcher.
Were you the best kid, like on your little league team, clearly, or was it not like that?
I was pretty good. I don't know. If I do say so. Yeah, I was all right.
No, but it's fun when you can just like dominate like that, you know, back on the small
I
diamond.
miss hitting a little bit. Yeah, no, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun, man.
But when did you decide to be a pitcher, though? Because, you know,
Junior college.
Junior college.
Mhm.
So it didn't happen. You played high school in positions or no?
Yeah, I was third base in high school.
Ah.
Third base, I would come in and close.
So if things don't work out at third base, we could always slide you in there.
No.
It's a thought. Mariano was always saying he could play center field. I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been fun.
He could have did it.
Probably
I don't know
could've
for
done
how long, but
Because he played in the outfield
Inning
all
or
in his
two.
childhood. He was always an outfielder until
Yeah.
the very end. When they ran out of pitchers, he was getting rocked out in some game in Panama, and they said, "Can you come in and pitch the last couple innings?" He was nailing everyone out. And then one of his friends says, "Hey, I got a scout coming from. You want to go give it a look?" He thought he was going to be like the last guy, and he was the first guy on the mound.
first
And
guy.
that's how he got. That's how he got drafted. It's crazy. He never wanted to pitch. He was an outfielder. It's crazy how things work out. It's crazy. How long? What was your story? When did you start playing?
I started playing when I was 5. Yeah, T-ball.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's probably where I missed it.
Still remember my first team name.
Probably where it all went downhill for me, you know. But always a pitcher, or
I didn't really become a pitcher till probably sophomore year of high school. But I always played a position. I actually didn't throw that much in high school. Probably a total of 30 innings.
oh really?
Yeah.
What position do you play?
Third, right, center, short. Yeah. I caught before, but I put an end to that after I was a freshman.
You don't want to let,
I didn't wanna-
let that rumor get out there, but still throw the catcher's equipment. in there.
I was sick of blocking balls in the dirt, so
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Oh, man.
Yeah.
A question for CC, kind of going back to your younger career, being a football player and baseball player. What was the mentality of you choosing baseball, and what do you think of Kyler Murray's decision?
I'm excited for him. You know, I thought that he made the right decision. You know, obviously he's going to be a lottery pick. For me, the Indians just drafted me. I had planned on going to play football, and then the Indians drafted me in the first round, and made me an offer I couldn't turn down. But I didn't really make a decision. They kind of made it for me. So I played all the way through. I played basketball all the way through. I never wanted to compromise being an athlete. So they could never just put me in that one box to like. And plus, for me, I obviously hate doing cardio and stuff. So like, if I played every sport, I only had to work out one time at the beginning of football season. So it worked out.
So the basketball wasn't going to work out for you then. Too much
It could
running.
have. It could have.
What were you, a 3 or a 4?
I played the 4. We had a 7-foot center, my high school team. So
Wow.
we had good. We had
And a
good-
lefty. You had that
good
nice
sports.
soft little jump shot, or
Yeah.
nice. Probably impossible to stop. Yeah.
I got one for CC too. At one point, I know you were vocal about your excitement to play in London. I'm wondering if you're gonna try to lobby Booney to get you lined up rotation-wise to get one of the starts.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. That was one of the reasons I came back this year. No, I think it'd be fun to be a part of that. The first game over there, Yankees, Red Sox, that's going to be historic. So to be able to be a part of that series is going to be a lot of fun, for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, back there. Yeah.
My son's 5 years old. I've been bringing him to Baltimore since he's been 6 months. We've met Tommy and Chance many times in Scranton. Tommy laughed at him one time. He had permanent marker all over his forehead. What would be the best advice to give him? I mean, he's been hitting soft toss since 2 years old. I mean, I've been bringing him to the ballpark. What advice would I give him to maybe enhance his interest or maybe help him benefit from playing the game?
I think just keep bringing them to the ballpark. The kids love what you love. Like my oldest is 15 now, but I never, forced him to play or anything. He just wanted to kind of do what I do and, wear the uniform and hang out, and now he's a sports junkie. Like that's what we bond over. Like we go to games, we hang out, we sit on the couch, we talk. Like I can sit on the couch and literally talk to him like through a at bat or, a football game or, just different things. So if you keep that interest, like if you keep it up, then he'll keep it up for sure.
He gets his little bats and his little bat helmet on. And
Just be ready. Yeah, I would get so tired. I got me a bucket and just started throwing. So like, if you keep playing with them, they'll keep playing.
Cece, what's going to happen after this year? What are some of your goals and dreams for you?
I don't really have any like goals and dreams. Like it's I just want to hang out with my family, travel. I want to go back to Africa, do some safari. Huh?
Parade?
Definitely a parade. That'd be good. Nice parade in November. But no, I mean I just want to hang out, take the kids to school, and just be a dad.
Just do normal stuff.
Just do normal
Yeah.
stuff. Golf.
Cool. Right here, another one, yeah.
Yeah, CC, you keep in touch with Moose, Mike Messina?
I never played with Moose.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never met him. No.
So he joined the Yankees right after we won a championship, and then he leaves right before you win the championship. So, I mean, what does that mean to you? He just got into the Hall of Fame, and you're going to be a first ballot, I think.
You know what it means a lot that he got into the Hall of Fame because it's gonna make my case better. But no, I mean, I've always somebody that hated pitching against, but loved watching pitch. So I'm just excited that he was able to go in. I want to kind of see what he's gonna choose, which team he's gonna go in. If it's gonna be Orioles or Yankees. But yeah, that's got to be rough. I mean, when we won in 2009, everybody in the clubhouse was like, we got to send Moose a ring. Because that's, right before we get there and then right after he leaves. So, and that was the year he won 20 games. He definitely could have pitched in 2009. So,
I don't know if we fully appreciated Moose here.
I don't
I mean,
know.
he was a really good pitcher. He was a really good pitcher before we got him. And he had some incredible outings for us.
I mean, he's 100 games over 500 as a starter. That's insane.
And he played long into the game, too.
All in the AL East, not on the best team for
and
a lot
Baltimore
of
that's not easy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one for you, yes, young man.
You all have individual relationships with Cashman, as I know, and so I'm gonna ask the question that probably is painting everyone's head. Based on what you know about Cashman, each and every one of you, where do you think Manny's going?
What's that got to do with Cashman? I mean, I know Manny, and I still have no idea where he's going. It'd be fun if he came here to play, but I know he's got to do whatever's best for him and his family. He's got a young family, and he's got to take care of them. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
You know Manny?
No. I don't know Manny.
I don't know Manny.
You know Cash? Do you know Cash?
A little bit.
Not really.
Operative word there is cash. And what I like about cash, operative word cash, is that I think he's been really smart about how he's spending his cash. And I trust him. Like that's what I like about the Yankees today, whether we get him or not, is we're being diligent and smart about how we spend our money and not just doing all kinds of things. The stability of this team is, I think, far more important than anything because you have a great core team, which I've been around a long time. I'm not in the clubhouse, but CC, you would say better than I would say, or you would say, but it's just there's a really tight-knit group there, which is not easy to get. They want to win, but that's why I like. I'm good with my hand right now. I'm cool going right with what we got.
Yeah.
Just for my 2 cents. But everybody always says we gotta get this guy, we gotta get that guy. I'm like, we gotta just get our team back on the field and not let Red Sox do what they did. Because 2 at-bats, we would have beat them. I tell the Red Sox fans and some players all the time that they were lucky. But it was anybody at that last game at the stadium? Like that's the thing you got to replay in your mind, like get angry about that. Like
I don't even remember the last game.
yeah, I remember the last game.
I don't even
the bases
remember it.
loaded. Sanchez's shot that should have almost gone out that didn't. That's the stuff that gets
I have
me
no
revved
recollect-
up now. I
I don't even remember it.
Well, it's good. It's good amnesia.
I know I've started that game, but I don't remember it.
Now, have we worked on some? We worked on some anger management with the umpire situation, CC. Or we
No, I think that my anger. I think my anger will be done once I retire. I don't think I'll ever not be angry at umpires. I was yelling at the high school ref at my kids' game the other day. So I think
good.
it's just refs. You know
Not
what I mean?
good.
Umpires is just.
you're one of those crazy
It
dads.
just is what it is. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Can you see at some point maybe have a computerized home plate? Can you see that maybe where no umpire?
You know, I think if they did that, guys would be hitting 450. If we actually had to throw the ball over the plate, these guys are too good, man. Like if we actually really had to throw the ball over the plate, You know, you'd be like guy like Miguel Cabrera would never get out. You couldn't get him out. So we need that, you know, that human element.
All right, that's fair. Last question. Anybody? One more? Right over there. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, sorry, it's kind of silly, but it's for Chance. Are you by any chance double jointed?
Like hyperextensive, yeah.
Because I've noticed, I'm like, that can't be comfortable.
Oh yeah, no, I can like.
It took us 47 minutes to get to that level. All right, we learned
Got
something.
some hyperextension.
Yeah, I like that. Give me one surprise this season that somebody's going to have a breakout year, excluding yourself. Just not obviously you're going to have a breakout year, but who's going to surprise us this year? You think that maybe is going to play much better than they played in the past, or have a big difference on the team?
I'll go with a newcomer, DJ LeMahieu. I played with him in Colorado. I mean, he is a known player out there, but he's kind of an unknown to the American League. So, I mean, I think he's going to have one hell of a year. So, I'd say watch out for him.
Cool. What do you think? What you know?
I would go Andahar. Yeah.
He's an assassin.
Yeah, I think
He's committed to this getting better.
I've known him since high A. You know, he can play. Dude can hit. He's going to give you what he has. So I'd say he's probably going to do better than what he did last year.
He's just, we were doing an interview here, and he was struggling with the English. And what I loved about him is we've seen guys come up and struggle with the English, but he refused to use the translator. And I'm like, man, I mean, this guy's fighting to hear the questions answered. I'm like, oh, man. And I know he's going to work on every part of his game. He seems like that kind of guy. And I'm looking forward to seeing him kill it again. I mean, he had a great year. Great year. He's going to even be better.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah. It should have been Rookie of the Year, right? Yeah. CC, who's going to be the big surprise this year?
I don't know if I have like one person, but I just think us as a team. I think this team's getting older. It's a young team. A lot of expectations last year. The first time those guys had to play with that. But it's going to get better, and we're going to be that dominant team again. It's these guys in this clubhouse are going to get us to that level again, and I think it's going to start to show this year.
I didn't ask you this, but you like Booney? How's Booney?
Yeah, I'm biased though. You got to ask these guys. I played with Booney for a long time, so
Everybody likes Booney, though,
Yeah, you
but-
know, I mean, Booney. That's like one of literally my friends. So you got to ask these guys.
Good communicator? Like
Yeah,
Booney?
yeah. I like Booney a lot. I mean, he was definitely one of the players' coaches. I mean, played with some of the guys on the team, so I've only heard great things about him. And I mean, he's an Eagles fan, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, we'll take one last question and then we'll call it a night.
Have you guys ever heard Sanchez speak a word of English in the locker room or no?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, my sleeper is Gary Sanchez. I'm sorry, like to me, again, I've never played one day of baseball, so I'm only saying this. Let's not tell anybody that. But you hurt your groin, and then you're catching, and there's so much involved with that. It's so hard to come back from that. I don't know if people realize, what that's like, to catch with a bad groin injury. But he is such a talented player with a great arm. He's still young, and he's got great power. I think he's going to go crazy this year. I think he's going to have an unbelievable year. And he's such a character. I mean, he's a great locker room guy, fun guy as well. That's my sleeper for the year. I think he just goes crazy, especially when you're batting with Judge and Stanton, and you got a couple good guys around you, which makes it easier for him too. I look at him as, not only hitting for power, but average and everything else. And the catching thing, it seems like it's league-wide. So I think he's going to get better, but I just think that's my comeback player.
I like it.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, everybody. We're going to turn it over to Brooks Cowan. Love you guys. Thanks for being a part of this. And CC, thank you.